joining
How's
me.
it, guys?
So get those questions rolling, guys. Just a quick congratulations to everyone that entered our Untraceable and Bull Moria December Fishing Championship. Well done to all the anglers who placed, even the anglers that didn't place. Well done, guys. Phenomenal catches. And I hope everyone is back at work safely and had a fantastic December holiday. Happy New Year. So, guys, get those questions rolling in. You've got Jared and I for the next couple of minutes in the hot seat. Get those questions coming through and we will get them answered.
Oh.
So, if you check it out, guys, we have a lot of reels sitting on the table. We've just done Tackle Tuesday and run through all the reel sizing. That video will be up tomorrow night. It's been good fun. Thanks, Jared, for helping me put together.
Advantage to make 1 or 2 trips. We got 1 or 2 fish. I wasn't fortunate enough myself to catch anything fairly decent,
Yeah.
but it was still a decent December. There was still some nice fish that came out. We caught 1 or 2 nice raggies.
That's right. That's good. Better than I did.
A mate of mine made a trip to Car. They caught some nice fish. So yeah, it was a decent December.
Sorry, guys, something fell. We don't know what it was, but it's fine. Yeah, but then my fishing, I took a little trip down to Cannon Rocks.
And?
I blanked.
But
the whole week.
But I think closer towards the end of December, we had just that west wind with that warm sea.
It was just too much warm, clean, flat water. Listen, I'm not saying that when fish around they could have been caught. I couldn't catch it.
It becomes bass water and it becomes difficult, not so much to, in my opinion, to actually not have the fish there, but it becomes difficult to actually get them to eat a bite. They take a couple of days to acclimatize back into that warmer sea.
Something I definitely need to work on. Obviously, we don't always have those warm, clean waters here, so I think you need a bit of a different approach. You could catch fish, but I need to learn that.
It happens in East London, from what I've seen. Every now and then, where you get that massive west wind that turns the water temp, and the deep sea guys favor it.
Yeah, they love it.
The Dorado were wild.
Yes, they were wild, but they
with the ski boat.
Yes, I heard that.
Oh, so some nice fish were caught in terms of the deep sea side, but
a
little bit slow on the rock and surf, depending on where you were fishing.
Yeah. So for those of you guys who find it a bit difficult, when to know when to go fish, or maybe not know either your Apple Play Store or Google, I think it's Apple, Google Play Store, Apple iStore, I think it's those ones. Download the app, have a look at it, guys. Phenomenal. You can record your catches, mark your spots, and it's going to help you. It's got all the features, got your tides, temperatures, everything there that needs to assist you with your fishing. So when fishing is hard and slow, go try the app, Fish Finder SA. Download it, guys, and have a look at that. So without further ado, I don't know, we're not getting any questions come through. We might be having some sort of little technical difficulties here. I just aren't asking questions. Guys, get those questions coming through.
Glad to help where possible.
Yeah, so take advantage of the time. While we got, let's ask you guys a question. So I've got from side, Jared, grab one of those big boys there, bro.
Where's this thing? What do you want to grab?
The biggest one.
The biggest one.
So I've got a little thousand
one,
reel in my hand, and Jared's got the big, what is that? A slammer, a 10.5.
The 10.5.
So why not let us know what your favorite size reel is for the type of fishing you enjoy.
And what brand you use.
And what brand, your favorite brand. So we have Lee Graham joining us. Hey, you guys. Hey, good to have you guys. Yes, good to have you too back, Lee. It's finally
good to be back.
Back online. So guys, let us know what your favorite reel is. Lee is, I see, one of our members. Guys, if you don't know what a member is, there will be a link below. Hit that member link and become a member of Untraceable Fishing. Small monthly fee. It does help Untraceable Fishing produce beautiful videos and take us forward, guys. So we appreciate every single one of you doing that. So get those questions coming in, guys. What is your favorite size reel? If you could choose one size reel to conquer the world with, what would it be?
One size reel, and I'm gonna grab it now. Let me just find it, if we've got it on the table still. Dean, grab me that 7500.
Would that be your size reel to conquer the world with? 65.
Wait,
okay.
I'll have it this side. This will be it for me.
Okay.
So I don't have the Slammer DX in the arsenal yet, but this is a size I would use. I've got the Spin Fisher, which is still a really good quality reel. Yeah. So my 7500 Spin Fisher, I've fished for everything with. Yeah. I fish league as well.
Yeah.
So the 7500 works as an all-rounder for me. You can fish for bluefish. You can fish for cob. You can fish for
You
flatfish.
can get
I
some
can
nice big
do.
non-ends on
You
it.
can do everything
Yeah,
with it. The guys down on the PE side fish a 7500. Even for your raggies, I've seen
yeah,
some good black rays. It's a really good
right,
all-rounder
real,
size.
real.
If I need to take a rod onto the beach, fish for a cob,
Yeah,
fish for a black, it's heavy for a bluefish, I will admit that. But if you need to take one reel to do it all, the 7500 size for me is what I would use.
so I'm not too far off. So if I had to take one reel to conquer the world with, I'd take a 14,000.
Yeah,
Also, it's about the
you
same size
best of
reel.
both
Well,
worlds. Do a bit of
you
everything.
you might not hit that 200 kilo bronzy on it. You might get spools, but hey,
Yeah.
you'll get one of 100 kilos on
Yeah,
it.
you can have fun at least.
Exactly, yeah.
When the fishing's a bit quieter and you want something that'll do everything.
Sorry guys, my eyes are really bad. I don't know
So
if anyone knows my eyes unless you bring this laptop a little bit closer.
So we've got a question
Okay,
there.
Beniko Smith, let's go. Thank you, Beniko, for joining us. Woohoo! Jared's always been a part of the team,
Yeah.
guys. He's just been behind the scenes. Now he's up front.
Yeah, good to help and good to be here and be able to give my personal opinion and my advice where possible.
Awesome.
So we've got a question here.
Okay. Hey guys, what's the best bait for non-eds? Jared, what's your best bait for
So
non-eds?
depending on it can be a personal preference. For most of the non-eds on our coast, fishing here, East London, the border area, mullet is a go-to.
I agree with you there.
Mullet, you can fish for your big spotted gullies. It's a live mullet. You can catch raggies, you can catch bronzies, and even on your smaller mullets, your flatfish often will eat a mullet,
Correct.
especially a live bait when fishing for something like a cob. So a mullet's something that, if you know how to present it right, you can actually get yourself, and it's an all-rounder. As a second option, I think you fish with it quite a bit. A mackerel is also a good bait.
Mackerel or bonnies, yeah.
You can have multiple success. You can catch even your edible species on mackerel.
Yeah, so I agree with you there. Listen, for me, the most versatile out of all the baits is a raggy. You can pretty much, a mullet, guys. A mullet you can target anything with, any non-end with. And then my second would, I'd say, bonnie. Listen, the guys that fish with yellowtail, there's guys that fish with mackerel, all depending on the water temperature conditions. There's so many recipes out there. But if I had to choose one bait, mullet.
Yeah, mullet's one of the best go-tos.
Okay. So next question. How's it, guys? I want you to know what
you rated more for drop shotting, spinning plugs, and more, the Affinity or the Sierra.
So listen, I would personally, if you want to do those vasts, the drop shotting, spinning, and plugging, I take the Affinity. I think the Sierra is also a beautiful rod, but I think more suggested to heavier plug throwing and things like that.
Yeah, the Affinity is relatively new on the market still, but Assassin did really well in terms of wanting to put that rod in the range where, not to say that it's under the Sierra and can't do what the Sierra will do, but something that's a little bit more cost effective for some of the guys that want a premium quality rod, with a good weight as well. The Affinity is lighter in hand than the Sierra. We have sold a lot recently. I know of a guy that actually bought the double X, the 2 to 4 ounce, and he fished recently at Mpolompo, and he had good success on some really nice carrick, hooked up onto a yellowtail or two, and the Affinity was more than enough to handle it.
Definitely in a league of its own there, guys. Okay, so Sons of Virgin fishing team, opinion on the Saragossa compared to the BGMQ. I'm no favorite of brands, guys. I love both brands, but I'd say Saragossa all the way, my opinion. Okay, what a bunch of legends. There we go. Hey, guys, what is your sorry, man.
Let me read this
for it. Sorry, my eyes are shocking,
for
guys.
Dean quickly. It says, yeah, hey guys, what is your go-to braided leader size when doing scratching? I'm not sure what Dean's is.
80 or 100 pounds.
My purpose as well. So for me, an all-rounder will be 80 pound. That's what I will generally fish with. You can do a bit of everything with the 80 pound. If you play the fish in the right areas, 80 pound will catch you a bit of everything.
Okay, so Alex, if there was no budget, he's comparing the Affinity to the Sierra. I would say if you're going to be drop shotting, throwing lighter plugs, you can still throw decent plugs on them. And for more versatile rod, I'd say I'd rather take an Affinity than a Sierra. If I was going to Gabon and Angola, we are throwing big lures only. I take the Sierra, but
take the
for
Sierra.
more versatile, my opinion, the Affinity.
Yeah.
Thanks, Sir Alex, I think it is.
Yeah.
Okay, guys. So get those questions coming through. Oh, silent is golden, guys. Anyway, so where were we there? How you guys doing? Braided leader size, budget. There we go. Growing up in East London in the late 80s. Mum would only take us fishing, and we dug shingle worm. When last have you ever dug shingle worm? It's been years.
It's a really good bite.
Yes,
some of the
not good on your fingers.
Yeah, not good on the fingers. Some of your older generation of anglers will still use it as a go-to.
Yeah.
Still a very good bite on our coast.
Okay, Sons of Virgin Fishing Team, opinion on the new Loomis and Franklin braid compared to Grinder.
The Loomis has been selling quite well.
Yes, yeah.
We haven't seen any issues with it. It's still a really smooth braid.
Yeah.
It's very much the same sort of diameter.
Yeah.
It might be a little bit thicker than some of the Grinder, depending on the pound. Really good value for money at the moment. I can't fault it.
Yeah.
I've used both. And I've had success on
both.
both.
Happy with both. So
I'm happy with both.
I personally haven't used the Loomis and Franklin braid, guys, so I can't comment on something I haven't used. I don't think it'll be fair.
Yeah.
Grinder braid, value for money, decent braid. So I can say Grinder braid is good. Cool. Loomis and Franklin,
I still
let me fish with it and I'll give you my opinion. Yeah.
I've got the DNA on my reels. And to be honest with you, I've still caught some of my biggest fish on Grinder.
Yeah.
My biggest raggy still to date was caught on 50-pound Grinder, and it held up.
Yeah. Okay, Franklin Vessels has joined us. Franklin, I need a new rod and reel combo, edible setup.
Franklin, I think you must be a little bit more specific there, man. When you're talking about an edible setup, generally you could look between a 3 to 5 ounce or a 4 to 6 ounce. That's my preference. I fish a 3 to 5 as an edible. You could fish from bluefish up to cob, similar to the reels as we were discussing. If you wanted to target a bigger fish, it was just the vary on what sinker you want to throw.
And it's also technically, can I type in the chat? It won't let me. But what I'm going to do is I'm just going to put my number there for you, Franklin. And then what I'll do is I'll get one of the, you can message me so we don't give your number out. I'll get one of the sales consultants to contact you personally, and you can chat to them about looking at a new rod and reel. How about that? So it's not going to let me type. I think I broke it. Yeah, I broke it, guys. So Andrew's coming through. Check the man behind the scenes, guys. I stick to fishing, Andrew sticks to this, you see. But lately he's been doing both.
He's been doing well lately.
071 109 2413. 071 109 2413. Andrew knows my number better than I know my number, guys. Okay, let's get back to it, guys. Jared, before, don't you want to pass me an ice cold something out of that eco?
Take it from this lovely Africooler.
Yeah, I'm thirsty, boys. Sorry, guys. Oh, the cream soda, good choice, bro.
Keeping everything nice and fresh
for us. Thank you. Okay, where were we? Hit us with this question there.
If you could have...
Yeah. Okay.
Which one we're going to do here, Dean? If you could have 2 shore spinning rods to cover everything from Alf to Yellowtail, what would you choose and what strength? I know you fish quite often with the Loomis Archipelago. That would be a rod of your choice from what I've seen targeting.
That'd be my lighter rod, and then I'd take I'd probably take a Sierra as my tail rod.
As your tail rod.
100%.
Yeah. And then
or an affinity, a lighter affinity, maybe the 1 to 3 ounce, and with a Sierra double extra heavy.
Yeah.
Then you're super covered. But
a question there: when should I use a float on my dingle dangle? That would depend on what you're going to be fishing for and how you want to present a bait. So generally, if you could be talking about cob fishing, I generally will always fish a float, just to give it a bit more body. When you want to use it on a wired dingle dangle for targeting sharks, it depends on what sort of bait you're throwing. So generally, I know most of your head baits from what we use, we generally will throw on a plain wire dangle. If you're using if you're using a cutlet, is generally when you would use foam on your dangle, just to build your bait and present it better for your aerodynamics.
Okay, Carl
Kirkhoff
joining us, another one of our members. Carl, thank you very much for joining us. Franklin Vessels, thanks. Then we got Mr. Walker, how's it, gents? What is Zaragoza 14,000 pair up with 15-foot bluefish number 6 and what pound? Well, but that's like a dream match, those two together.
Yeah, it'll be a beautiful
I
setup.
would fish probably 40 pound if I was
Yeah.
using a good quality braid. 40 pounds.
Yeah, 40 pound would be the
all the way.
perfect,
Yeah,
the all-rounder, the
all-rounder for
go-to.
that. Yes, yeah. You could step up to 50. I don't think you need to. 40 pound more than strong enough if it's a good quality braid.
Yeah.
Will there be seen a decrease in price in the old bluefish special? Listen, the price currently is the lowest price they've ever been.
Yeah, you're not gonna find them.
You're not going to find a price better than that. So grab one while they're still. I think they're going for 1,999 somewhere around there.
Yeah,
You're not going to.
prices vary depending on what models.
Yeah, 1,999 upwards. So you're not going to get a better price than that.
Yeah. Do we have any contacts for Zanak?
No.
I don't know of Zanaks currently in the country. Zanak is actually an Australian brand. I'm not sure if Dean's aware of them.
Yeah.
Zanak is a brand, I think, that's based just in Australia. They don't quite have a market for anywhere else in the world. Not to say that they don't have a purpose, but
you can import them. They are fairly pricey. They are fantastic rods.
You're gonna
can't
look
give anything away that rod.
You're gonna look at about 15 to 20,000 rand.
For a rod,
I've done a little bit of research, and you're looking at ballpark figure 1,000 Australian dollars.
Yeah.
So it's a little bit difficult to get into the country.
But they are pretty much the best.
They're of the best. They're up there
with the best.
That
Ripple Fish and Assassin, in my opinion, the two best or the three best shore-based spinning rods in the world. How's it going, guys?
Let's have a look there. Opinion on the Akuma
Rockaway. Beautiful rods, very easy casting rods, guys. We fortunate enough to have the guys from Sensational Angling, who are the agents and manufacturers of the Akuma rods in South Africa, at a casting day last year. And surprisingly enough, of all the Akuma rods, I think that was the easiest casting rod, if I'm not mistaken. The guys really loved that rod, guys. If you're new into fishing, even if you've been to fishing for years and you want a easy casting rod, the Rockaway is a rod to look at.
Yeah. What's the difference between the Evo Infinity and the Beachmaster 2 15-foot number 5? The Evo Infinity is something I don't personally own one, but I've casted with both of them. The Evo feels to me it's got definitely a lighter blank. It's a thinner blank. If you had the money, that is a rod I would look at. I prefer the tip action, especially on it. What I would recommend, if you can, get into a tackle store, get them in your hands.
Listen, the Beachmaster 2 is also a phenomenal rod.
Phenomenal rod.
I'm an Evo fan. That's me. I love Evos.
When you put the two of them in your hands, I believe you'll know what's better suited for your purpose.
Two total different rods. They've got two total different actions, depending on what you prefer, guys.
Yes.
The Evo, to me, is a bit more difficult rod to cast, but you might get better performance on the top end. I might be wrong. I'll get better performance. Different casting style. The Beachmaster might suit.
It depends on how you fish,
guys. Okay. Where we now? Dylan, Bob, watching this while eating supper. Love the show from Chris Shotwood. I'm glad what you having for supper, but I'm hungry. Yeah, they're Japanese, that's correct. So they are Japanese.
Yes, they are Japanese
in Australia, Because the only contact they have is Solly Anglicorn. Yeah. Alex, listen, jump onto the Zanak website. It brings you all the authorized suppliers. I know there is one of the guys on the East Coast in East London. He's got two of the Zanaks that he has imported from Australia. Listen, the import fees, that does cost you a bit. But if you're looking at a rod in that class, I don't think financially it's an object for you. So maybe go for it and purchase one of those rods.
Purchase it.
I would love a Zanak, but unfortunately I can't afford it at this stage in my life. Maybe in 3 months' time.
It's a special rod for that angler that knows that they're going to go to Oman and those places.
Yes.
If you have a purpose for it,
100%,
that would be one of the best spinning rods to own.
I definitely wouldn't put my baity hands on the rod. I'd only throw lures with it.
Yeah. You can take the next
question. So Jared helped me today in getting some braided leader. Would it be better to go for a cheaper 300-meter spool of, for example, like a Drennan, or should I stick with like a 50-meter spool?
So, on my opinion there, it depends. We do have guys that go with a 300-meter spool of your normal braid.
Using it as leader.
Using it as leader. Yeah. It does work. What I do find is that, and it depends, and this varies now on what brand of braid leader you use. certain brands of specifically Braid leader, or as we know it as a surf leader, I wouldn't say that the makeup is different, but you'll feel
It is a, no, it is a difference,
it's a bit harder.
It's a bit more abrasion resistant, things like
Yes.
that.
So it'll take up a little bit more punishment than what your standard Braid will. If you are on the budget, then the 300-meter options will
It's going to
work.
be more affordable. Because what I suggest to guys, say braided leaders a bit working out a bit expensive, and you are using say £100 leader as your braid, but I think the amateur is going to pay a big difference.
Yeah.
There. Rather step up to 120 or 150
Yeah.
pound if
It
it's
would-
normal braid.
What you'd have to look at then is you just have to look at as well in terms of what brand. Not
Exactly.
all of your brands offer the heavier poundage.
Yes, yeah.
So if you're going over like 120 pounds, you
is
battle
very
to
specific.
get
but-
you battle to get a variety in all of your
Yeah.
braids.
Sanak, Sonia, that is the top Japanese rod. Yeah, sorry, but I don't actually know that model. I know Zanak rods. There are so many different models. I don't know them, but listen, I can't argue against that. It must be a phenomenal rod to use. I'd love to get one in my hands and try one out. You're very lucky to have one of those rods. I'm actually quite jealous. On the topic of braid, do you think it will become any thinner? It evolves. Listen, I don't think we need to chase braid any thinner. I think there are, if you go look at Berkeley's Black Velvet and stuff, how they've got it that thin for that breaking strain.
It's difficult to imagine that it would be able to change and go any thinner. And also in that fact, depending on your application, I don't believe you will always have to look at the thinnest of braids. It depends on what we're fishing for.
You start going too thin, the thinner braid, you start getting wind knots easier.
Yeah, and there's a chance of getting cut off on a better size fish.
Yeah.
So on your purpose, it's sometimes fine to fish a heavier poundage depending on your application.
I wouldn't mind if the guy said, listen, let's not try and make braid any thinner. Let's try and make braid the same diameter, more robust.
Yes.
That would suit us. Not getting cut off as easy on it. Anyway, guys, keep those questions coming while I sip away at this beautiful cream soba here. Best stuff ever. Sorry, guys, sippy break here.
Got to keep hydrated.
So anyway, guys, you need to start getting excited. I sat down with my diary today. I haven't even chatted to Andrew and the guys at Bulmoria. The dates are not set in stone yet, but we have some dates coming up for the competitions for this year. So we'll have a meeting this week sometime, and probably maybe by next week or the week after, put the first date out there and what the competition is going to be. Get all you guys excited. We haven't forgot about any of you. The competitions will be coming. Okay.
I see we got an interesting question. Yeah, I'm going to be honest with you. I might pass it over to Dean to see what he says on the matter. The chap's asking, would you say the Evo Infinity Taper is a J-curve action rod, like a Century rod or
Zipflex? Yeah, so it's got a bit more like J-Flex. So it's very like soft tip.
Yeah. So
I know the older gold Evo, which I fish with, it's the tip is very soft. It's got a very soft tip.
Comparing to the Centuries and the Zipflex, I don't believe we've ever had those rods in stock.
I don't know those two rods.
I'm speaking out of turn. It could be a brand from overseas. I know the guys in London have special blanks that they've designed and that they fish with.
Yeah.
So I don't believe it's a blank that either of us actually
I've
know
actually never heard of them, to be honest.
Neither have I myself. So it would be difficult to answer a question like that without actually feeling.
Yeah.
I would try and, if I was you, make contact with somebody that actually does own one of them to get a better opinion. We don't want to sell you down the river and tell you the wrong thing.
I'd rather, So listen, even Infinity, I like them. They've got a bit more of a softer tip action. I especially like them for cob and like white steamers, pig nose fishing. I feel that they absorb the head shakes a bit better than some of the other rods.
Oh, a bit more forgiving.
That's what I got, a very soft tip. If you are aware, even if you're overseas, you might know the Conlon range, which is also from England. So it's got a very, especially the gold, either the older one and the new ones, not as much, but they've got that very similar tip action to those rods. Nice soft tip with the backbone starting from the third, fourth eye down like that. Okay, guys, I'm super impressed with the Loomis braid. Well, that's good. Thanks,
good
Ryan. I know you like to pull some big fish, but if you're hitting big fish on that, then the braid must be good. Okay, 18 minutes. Well done, guys. We're going strong here.
Going well.
So anyway, guys, if there's anything before we start wrapping up here that you would like featured on Tackle Tuesday, any suggestions for our channel, any way we can improve things, anything you'd like to see at maybe Bulmoria improved, give us up. We love a bit of constructive criticism. We won't take it as negativity. If there's anything that you think we could do differently, please let us know. We are here to provide you as much information as we can. We're not always right. It's not always the right information, but we'll always work together and get information to you.
Yeah, steer in the best direction as possible. See, we've
Okay,
got a
let's
question.
go. Last question for the evening. Is fluorocarbon worth buying as a leader? I'd say if you are a hardcore lure fisherman, yes.
If you're, yeah, I agree with Dean there. So if you're a hardcore lure angler and you are fishing overseas, the fluorocarbon, yes, it will have a more abrasion resistant. It is a sinking line.
Yeah.
Fluorocarbon does sink. So fishing in the estuaries, you'd have to be careful. It might change. This is getting a bit in depth. It might change your retrieve.
On the top water lures and things like that.
It might change your action and your retrieve of certain lures. In terms of fishing it as a rock and surf, we do fish fluorocarbon. Yeah, that is if you are fishing mostly competitively.
Yes, yeah.
So what happens is the competitive anglers will scale down as light as possible and generally go over to a fluorocarbon because they say it's got a better abrasion resistance for a lighter diameter.
Less visibility and things like that.
So it depends on your application. One thing you have to look at with a fluorocarbon, you need to know that your knots need to hold up. If you are tying fluorocarbon as trace line, you need a tie figure of 8s. If you are using it as a leader on top of your braid, what you have to look at when you're tying an FG knot is that the strands don't actually start to slice through and unravel. There's actually a YouTuber I watch overseas called Briggsy, and he's done a video on that.
The new improved, I watched it the other day.
And he's mentioned on the fluorocarbon, you have to be careful as you, after a couple throws, you need to be able to check that knot and make sure that that fluorocarbon hasn't pulled through or hasn't frayed.
Okay, excellent, guys. Anyway, guys, thanks for joining us this evening. We're going to cut the show off now. We've got about 37 reels to pack away. So don't forget to like and subscribe to Untraceable Fishing. Go check out Bulmoria's brand new online shop website, guys. Phenomenal, very easy, user-friendly. All the stock is currently being loaded. Most of the stock is up already, guys. There's still some crazy good prices going at the moment. So go check that out. I think we'll get to drop the link in below. Go check it out. Buy some new fishing tackle, guys. And until next week, thank you, Africooler, for keeping our drinks ice cold once again. So from Dean at Untraceable Fishing.
And Jared from Bulmoria Fishing
and
Tackle.
Behind the scenes, and Neil behind the desk, and everyone else that's hiding away here behind the camera. Cheers.
Cheers.
Okay, too late, sorry guys.